Alright, I wanted to do, Star Wars Paladin. I wanted to do a quick video of my GX1 Firehauler loadout. I've decided the loadout I'm going to stick with. I wanted to go through it really quick so everybody can follow along since I know it's hard. My primary weapon is going to be the laser cannon. The reason being is I like the alternating fire. It's nice, steady alternating fire, whereas that I'll be lucky if I hit anything, and I'm probably just going to run out of power faster. That it's going to be more powerful, but I'll have even less chance of hitting. So I'm sticking with the nice staggered fire. It's just my playstyle, that's what I'm used to. Going with the Seeker Mines. I wanted to be a battle platform, and I could not get the proton torpedoes to work. I was following my friend's directions. It wasn't working, I don't know why. So same thing with those. And I'm going to be battle platform anyway. That's what I'm role playing, so I want the Seeker Mines. I've started to upgrade them. I'm not going to go all the way down anything. I'm going to upgrade nice and even. That worked very well for my Corel. Unfortunately, on my Corel, I changed my loadout halfway through, but luckily I hadn't put any points into it. But this time I'm making sure I get my loadout right first. I was just flustered when I did the Corel, so I'm going to Seeker Mines. Systems, missile sentry drone. The reason why I chose that is I like a drone that has missiles. It's a nice balance between the two. Other options, shields. I'm going with the repair drone. Surprisingly, the loadout was almost already perfect. So this Firehauler was just perfect for me. Again, there's not a huge difference between almost any of the ships in their categories. There's only a few with actual major shifts, which means like the actual loadout, like hard loadout changes. All these bombers I think are relatively the same, just different starting loadouts that kind of save you the hassle. But this one, like, was just perfect loadout wise almost. I only had to switch my secondary weapons, so I'm sticking with the repair drones. This one was hard, but the thing with interdiction drives is they don't change my rotation speed, so I'm sticking with the shield power converter. That allows me to be very tanky whenever I need to be, since I'm almost never using my engines anyway. That allows me to live a lot nicer. It gives me like instant shields whenever I need it, which allows me to recharge my shields. It's not so much to live through a battle, even though it works for that too. But I can recharge my shields very, very fast, which my Quarrel, as you guys know, just has a super hard time. I'm sticking with the deflection armor. That's the armor that I wanted anyway. Again, like, the loadout was like really good, so I'm sticking with deflection armor. I already upgraded my repair drone once. I upgraded my missile sentry once, and I upgraded my Seeker Mines once. I just want to show you that. This already has the magazine that I want, which is the munitions capacity extender. Having an increased ammo pool size, in my opinion, is a lot better than the regen. Regen's nice, but if you're managing your power properly, it shouldn't be a problem. This makes it more powerful, but I'm using mostly drones, so I would rather have this. And it already chose the right reactor, which is shield power capacity, because I can sit there and regenerate my shields all day. I don't need higher regen rate and worrying about consumption regen cooldown. Same thing with that. Not worried about either one of those. Large reactors, exactly what I want. And the sensors are kind of a toss-up. I'm thinking I'm going to stay with the communication range only because I don't really care about dampening, and I don't really care about detection ranges because I don't know if the drones use those. So I thought about switching to that sensor focused detection range. I just don't know if I need it. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Sensor range. I'm pretty sure this is what my Corel has. Range sensors. Let me just double check. Yeah. Range sensors. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch that one. Because I don't really... It's nice to be able to communicate with the other ships, don't get me wrong. Making this choice kind of cuts you off from the fleet that you're playing with. But I'm usually stuck on my own away from the fleet anyway. Except in deathmatch, you're actually usually really close to the fleet. So I guess in that case, I don't know if I need the communication sensors anyway, because if I'm not mistaken, you get decent communication range by default anyway. So anyway, I mean, so in a death match, you're gonna be fine. You only need the increased, 17, 18, 19,000 or whatever, so you can communicate with your fleet across. Like if you're on A or C in a satellite match, you need to have your communication range if you care about what's going on the rest of the map. Like strike fighters and scouts need that so they know where to go. My role doesn't need that. So anyway, that's it. I just like to go through here because I like to keep you guys up to date on my progress. So that's it. I'm not going to use any fleet requisition right now. I save all that in case there's an upgrade that I feel like I really need. That way I've got it banked. So thanks for watching, and I'm gonna shut this off. And it looks like Mandrius lost connection and is not coming back. Sucks because he said he was actually going to be on for a while. So hopefully he's okay, and I'm going to queue back up. And I hope you guys are enjoying my GX1 Firehauler as much as I am. I love this thing. It is so cool looking, and it looks just like a big, ugly beef stick battle platform. I mean, it literally looks, it's like they took a battle platform and they freaking put engines in a what do you call this, like a cockpit, or it's just awesome. Awesome. I hate the way my Corel looks. It looks like a big stupid Y-wing. I don't like either of the other gunships either. It's frustrating that they won't release the rest of the gunships. This thing looks like a big battle platform too, but with the 4 engines, it actually looks like a big B-1 bomber, and that's probably why they did it. I like the way this one looks, but man, it's just a big target. I would only fly something like this if it was like a saucer like my XS. But this thing, oh, big beef stick. And then the war carrier, which is cool because it's got like the offset, which I really like. This is a much slimmer version of this. But then you look at this thing and you're like, oh hell yeah, of course I'm gonna. Thing just looks awesome, and the loadout was nearly perfect. Then you look at the scouts and you're like, okay, cool. But then you're like, oh, it's the same ship with its wings in, and just the loadout changes. No, there's actually a couple of loadout hard changes between those two. But there's no hard loadout changes between these two. It's just different soft loadouts, I guess you could say. Which is fine. That means it's basically just a skin change. you can deal with the soft loadouts, but I don't really like the look of these. Yeah, they're scouts though. It's appropriate for a scout. I get that. Then you look at that thing, and I love that thing. It looks like they put a couple of wings on an escape pod. That thing. It's awesome in its ugliness, I think. I like it. And then you look at the strike fighters, and you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. I dig it. That's cool. And then you look at this thing, and you're like, oh, why isn't that a bomber? Or not a bomber, I'm sorry. A gunship. This thing looks like it should have been a gunship. It's just so cool looking. And then you look at this and you're like, okay, it's like a beefed up Starguard. And I get it. You know, they did the same thing with the gunship, although yeah, it's this one. It's the same ship, they just tacked extra wings on it and moved the engines around. But the point of all this is that they really knocked it out of the park when they designed this one. And some of the Empire ships look amazing too. Unfortunately, they haven't moved them all over and changed the paint jobs. I hope they do that. Although that might irritate people, because then they're like, well, now there's nothing differentiating the two. Yeah, but you know what? Just make up a little story how we went to the Empire side and stole all their designs. Or make a little RP story where you can do a quest and, you know, go steal a ship, just like the Bounty Hunter mission, where you just go steal your ship. You know, they could just code in a mission where you do that. Make it a heroic or something, and at the end you go steal your ship, and then it loads it into here. Anyway, this has been my status update for GTS, and I'm going to queue up again, so I will talk to you guys later.